If you want to hit big numbers on Etsy ads, but you haven't inherited your father's diamond mine, don't worry. Today, we're going to cover simple, low budget Etsy ad strategies that you can grow and scale over time comfortably and predictably. What's up, Etsy sellers? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dave. I do new videos all the time on Etsy and e-commerce success. Go ahead and hit subscribe and the like button. And shout out to everybody grabbing free consultation calls via the link in my description for hands-on coaching. So let's talk about Etsy ads. For every dollar you put in, you want to get back a return on investment. You want to make money. You want to essentially create a money printing machine. Now, a few years back, some of you guys are new sellers. Some of you guys will remember this. Etsy ads was referred to and known as promoted listings. We had the ability to control manual cost per click and auto bid, which we were able to cap our max cost per click. It was amazing. Once you dialed everything in, we had so much more control. Once you could dial that in, we were able to just print money easily and predictably. Plus, back then, it spent what you set as your maximum budget. So if you set it at $100, it was spending $100. And with that $100, if you had everything dialed in properly, you had an easy money printing machine. Nowadays, Etsy ads only gives us a few features, and these controls dictate huge impacts. The settings we have access to right now have major implications on our ad budget, on our success, and on the entire functionality and behavior of our ad campaigns. We have control over our maximum daily budget and what listings are advertised. That's it. That's all we get. And cost per click has gone up. So another thing that I'm not going to cover in this video that we do have control over is the title and tags of the listings we advertise. So I say this in the Etsy ads course, and in the description you can grab the free Etsy ads cheat sheet, definitely free, and then it gives you an option to join the Etsy ads course later on. But I cover this extensively. The title and tags are what you're choosing to put money behind. So it's not like, oh, here's this organic listing and I'll put it on Etsy ads. I hope it does good. No, your title and tags dictate where your money is spent, who it's put in front of. So you always want to ask yourself the following question. Before we get into all this stuff, the low budget strategy, I got to cover this. You always want to ask yourself the following question. If I ranked number 1, page 1, slot 1 for this keyword in question, for this phrase in question, would the person typing it in be interested and buy it? If the answer is not a resounding yes, or a, well, yeah, definitely close enough, that's definitely relevant, then it should not be on your listing. So that means like slapping boho on absolutely anything and everything. Big no-no there. That means slapping, anything that you think is relevant. People tend to, I'm going to make a separate video on this, but people tend to treat their tags on Etsy as if they're hashtags, but they're not. Each tag should most times, now I'm talking most times, there's always exceptions to certain things, but most times each tag should accurately represent your product enough to where that could be the only tag. And then the question that we just asked ourselves, that process could run through and have a resounding yes. Anyway, got that out of the way. Let's talk about the strategy. First, you're going to start with a low budget. Surprise, surprise. But hear me out. You're going to start with a low budget. Right now, if you're at a high budget that you don't really like, it's not really performing very well, you max it out because you either feel pressured to grow it or you want to grow it, and that's a good thing. You do want to reach a point where your budget is maxed out and you're spending as much as you can and you're earning as much as you can. That is the goal. But this video is for a low budget Etsy ad strategy, okay? So we'll talk about this. If you're at a high budget right now and you don't like it, this is what I want you to do. I want you to lower your ad budget, your daily budget, to in between where it's set right now and what it's actually spending each day. So go to 30-day stats, look at the spend amount, divide that by 30. That'll tell you your average 30-day spend for each day. Put your budget in between that number and what it's set at right now. Sometimes when you lower your budget, it starts to spend more of it. therefore spending more than your past daily average. So that's how it's been behaving for the past 2 years, I'd say. So you want to try that. You first lower your budget to in between where it is and what it's actually been spending. That's step number 1 for the Etsy Ads low budget. Number 2 is you need to feed the budget. You got to feed your Etsy Ads campaign. With the understanding, and I talk about this in the ads course, and I talk about this in the Etsy Ads cheat sheet in the description, with the understanding that you're turning off ads that aren't profitable because Etsy Ads don't come back from the dead. It's not a set and forget situation. With the understanding that you're turning off Etsy Ads that aren't working, you need to be feeding your Etsy Ads campaign. You need to feed that budget. You need to put that budget to work. So in other words, you need to feed it with listings. You can't just set it and forget it. You can't just list it and forget it, et cetera, et cetera. You got to feed the budget. Okay, that's step number 2 in our low budget Etsy Ads strategy. All right. So after some time, the time varies. Okay, it can be anywhere from 1 month to 3 months when things start to level out to get you to this next point that I'm going to talk about. Okay. The next point is going to be once it spends all of your daily budget, once it's getting real close to that, your new low budget that you set, once it's really close to that, your daily average spend is soaking it all up and you're using it and you're profitable and you're happy and you're ready to make more money, then I want you to increase your daily budget by 1/3 of what it is. Okay. 1/3 of what it's at. Then that doesn't rock the boat too much because, like I mentioned before, these small settings have a big impact. Your daily budget has a massive impact on everything. It's a global setting, global to your Etsy store, and it has a much bigger implications than you realize. So increase it by 1/3 so it doesn't rock the boat too much. Now you have to understand this. You have to understand that anytime you change your Etsy Ads budget, it does inevitably rock the boat. Whether it's a good change or a bad change, it does rock the boat for a little bit. You could see views go down for a period of anywhere from 1 week to a month. It depends on your niche, your products, your store, your momentum. It depends on a bunch of things. There's no cookie cutter situation for this. But if you can understand some of these behaviors that Etsy Ads has, then you can be able to identify them and come out as a victor in these situations. But just understand that when you change your Etsy Ads budget, it does tend to rock the boat just a little bit. All right, so that is where I want you to be. And then next time, when like a month to 3 months go by, depending on how much you're selling, etc., if you reach close to your maximum again, then up it again by 1/3. Or let's say that your ads, after you increased it by 1/3 the first time, let's say your ads started doing even better. You were profitable. Everything was pretty even keel, not any big scares, no rocking the boat or anything. And you started being very profitable once again in a short period of time. Within 2 weeks, everything's back. You're roaring up again. You got $1 in, you got $5 out, whatever it may be. Then you can get a little more aggressive. Those situations that will tell you that your store is in demand, you have momentum, and you have good products. So you're going to do good. There's no like iffiness to the behavior of your store in relation to the algorithm. So in that situation where you up it by 1/3 the first time and you're just rocking it, you can go more. You can do it 2/3. You can do double, whatever it may be if you want to get aggressive. But do understand this. Here's another side point that I want you to understand. We talked about whenever you change the budget, it rocks the boat. The second thing is don't change the budget often. A lot of people change their Etsy Ads budget based on their emotions. Okay, your Etsy Ads budget and your business should not be on the same emotional roller coaster that you are. Okay, so regardless of your mood, you have to understand what you're doing. Trust me, I understand. I'm an entrepreneur as well. Your mood can get involved with your business, and that's not a good thing. Okay, so this isn't a mental health channel, but just understand that you're not supposed to change your Etsy Ads budget all the time. That rocks the boat way too much. And if you are watching this and you've recently just cranked it up, turned it down, this, that, and the other, then chill out, number one. And number two, let it breathe for like 3 to 6 weeks. Let it breathe and see what happens. The changes you made could have been good and you could start to profit. And after that boat rocking period is over, you could start to profit. So understand that when you change your budget, it rocks the boat, and understand because of that, you don't want to change your budget so often. Okay. So grab the Etsy ads cheat sheet in the description below. Join the Etsy ads course via those links. You'll get emails, etc. about it. Go ahead and book a free consultation in the description below if you want me hands-on personally to help you grow your store. And ask me anything in the questions, reach out to me via email, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a beautiful day.